All you need is love, right? But sometimes too much of it, okay, can be a hazard to your health. For example, we came across this shocking headline. Grabbed our attention. You ready? Headline. Boom. Woman rushed to hospital after 3-hour orgasm. Now, you may be thinking, no, that's not real. It's a hoax. Turns out it's actually a true story featured in a new reality series on TLC called Sex Sent Me to the ER. What the show does is they follow couples who reveal how their night of pleasure turned into one of pain and perhaps a little embarrassment. Take a look.
I started hopping up and down to see if that would do anything. There was nothing we could come up with to get me to stop orgasming.
Try this.
So I started trying to drink wine to see if that would calm down my system. I tried just about every possible thing I could do to stop having an orgasm. Coming in the door in a full orgasm.
Are you okay? Are you going to labor?
I was not going to tell them what I was there for until they brought me back and admitted me.
All right. You know what? If I was promoting this show, I would say the feel-good hit of the season, right?
Yeah, that's
right?
a good one.
Well, here's what happened. After she had was making love, I don't want the term sex, she was making love with her partner, Eric. She experienced an epic hours-long climax. She tried everything they could think of to get rid of it.
Never heard of jumping up and down.
Jumping up and down, drinking wine, but she still wound up in the emergency room. Joining me now, HLN contributor, psychotherapist, and you're a sex therapist.
I am. I'm a certified sex therapist, yes.
Dr. Tiff is here. And John Murray, who is starring in episode 2 of this program, I heard. Editor-in-chief of alwaysalist.com. All right, let me start here. And what you saw there for the show, what they're doing these reconstructions of, not reenactments.
It wasn't necessarily them,
It wasn't a reenactment. She wasn't going through. No, it was them doing a reconstruction
of what
their
own reenactments.
No, they're not reenactments because she's not actually enjoying or going through what she's going through at that moment. She's reconstructing it. Dr. Tiff, have you ever heard of the 3-hour one?
You know what? I have never experienced that personally, have never heard of it, have never had anybody walk into my office. What is more common is
Or jump into your office.
Or jump into my office. What's more common is priapism, where people have, males have an erection for 3 hours long. We hear about that with those commercials for Cialis and Viagra. If you have an erection, more than 3 hours, take your butt to the ER. Most often, I hear the opposite end of the spectrum where I can't get an orgasm to save my life. So I'm sure this guy got a lot of high fives, a lot of attaboys. What did you do? Can you recreate that moment again? I'm sure she's like, I don't want to see you again for the rest
I can't even look at you. John, I got to think that this show, and I said the feel-good hit of the year, right? I think people are going to tune in just from the name of this show, right? Sex Sent Me to the ER.
Absolutely. I mean, this is probably the realest reality television has been in a long time. You know, I had some friends who had an incident not too long ago where they were having some friends. They were having a sexual encounter, and you know, during the process of intercourse, something was punctured, and they had to stop and call the ambulance and go to the hospital. Now, we jokingly call my buddy 911 now because anytime your sexual experience ends up in a hospital visit, you should be called 911. But folks have to be careful, and people don't typically like to talk about this stuff. So I think these folks are brave by sharing their experiences with the ER and their sexual encounters.
I'm surprised you're sharing. They're not only sharing it, they're reconstructing it for the cameras. Now, how dangerous can sex be?
Sex can be pretty dangerous. If you go and ask any ER doc, there are several people that come in every single day.
Are there common things?
Yeah, well, things getting stuck in places that maybe they shouldn't have been in the first place. Or sticking the wrong item up some particular hole that maybe you shouldn't have stuck it.
Like food, you know, Dr. Tiffany, like food.
Yeah, cucumbers come to mind, John. I mean, you know, bananas.
Applesauce.
Nah, no applesauce going up in there. Sorry.
But I guess this is a show people can learn from too, right? Be careful.
Learn what not to do.
What not to do.
What not to do.
What not to do. You get caught up in the moment. Do you have any advice for this couple though? The 3-hour couple?
I think he should write a book on what exactly he did, because there are plenty of women that want to give that as a Valentine's Day gift coming up.
All right.
I'm sure. What do you think?
Yeah. Look at it. She couldn't get rid of it just by jumping up and down like that. Here, have some wine, honey.
Yeah, the wine ain't doing nothing.
We're going to talk some more. Dr. Tiff, John Murray with us. All right.